Hi everyone, wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom U'Vorach. Moshe Rabbeinu begins our parasha and he says to the Jewish people, Re'eh, take a look, I place before you blessing and curse. And the blessing if we observe the Torah and the mitzvot, and God forbid the curse if we don't. And the way to say if in Hebrew is im, aleph mem. So we would have expected Moshe to say, Et haberacha im tishmeu. The blessing is if you observe. But that's not what it says. Moshe says, Et haberacha asher tishmeu. The blessing is that you observe, is that you listened. And I believe Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us a very important lesson that I'd like to explain through a mashal, a parable. Imagine your child, you're trying to convince them to go to the dentist, and they don't want to go. So you finally tell them, listen, if you go to the dentist, I will give you a prize, a sticker, whatever you like. So the kid ends up going. Why do they go to the dentist? What's their motivation? They go because they want a prize. But we mature adults, we realize and we hope and pray that this kid, as he grows up, he ends up realizing too, that the reason he goes to the dentist is not for the prize or for the sticker. He goes because the dentist itself, having good teeth is the reward, having good hygiene. That itself should be enough of a motivation, prize or no prize. A lot of times we think that we observe the Torah, we do the mitzvot, so that we can get a prize, so that we can get Olam Haba. And that's 100% true. There is an Olam Haba and we believe in that 100%. But Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching the Jewish people that there's even a greater blessing maybe, and that is Et HaBeracha, the blessing, Asher Tishmeu, is the fact that we are living a life of Torah and mitzvot. That is the most rewarding. That itself is enough of a motivation to get us to want to follow the path of the Torah. Those of us that have kept Shabbat appreciate what Moshe Rabbeinu is saying. It reinvigorates us. It gives us a new connection to our friends, our family, ourselves. I wouldn't trade Shabbat for anything in the world. Kashrut, family purity, give us discipline. They remind us and they curb our appetite and our drives. A person with emunah and faith in above. I don't have emunah for the reward in Olam Haba. Faith, emunah, gives me the ability that no matter what my predicament in life, to have the courage and the strength to move on, knowing that God is on my side and God is rooting for me. You may have heard of the name Rav Shach. Rav Shach was one of the greatest rabbis of the previous century, and he was head of school of a yeshiva called Panovich Yeshiva. One of the philanthropists, one of the main donors of the yeshiva, was very close to Rav Shach. And one day Rav Shach turns to this man and he says, you have so much money, thank God. Why don't you take a break from work? Why don't you retire, or at least slightly take a step back? Let somebody else run the company. Come and learn. Let's learn together, you and I. And the man is curious. He says, Rabbi, why should I learn? You promised me that if I support Torah, I have an equal zechut to those learning it. You guaranteed me that I will have an equal seat to you in Olam Haba. Was that a sales pitch or was that the truth? And Rav Shach smiles and says, Olam Haba, you for sure have. But my friend, I want you to taste Olam Hazeh. I want you to enjoy this world. This is how a man speaks who understood that the mitzvah, the Torah itself, is the reward. Et haberacha asher tishmeu. The blessing is that you listened. Listening and following the Torah is itself the greatest blessings. We should be zocheh to not only follow the mitzvot, but to be able to taste and see the beauty that lie within. Shabbat Shalom.